The great thing about the team here at Preen is that they're always in touch with the moment, and we're feeling this kind of like hint of punk that's in the air.
It started with the Highlands and Macbeth and the idea of mountaineering.
I think she's so talented and she has such a strong point of view. It just feels smart and intellectual, and her color is so great. They're the Cashmere Kings of Scotland. It's over 100 years old, so they have a real history to delve into.
It reminds me of a time in London, like the very late kind of 80s, very early 90s, where we used to like throw our look together and it looked amazing. And there's this kind of like, almost this kind of like 80s kind of like flip, which turns into this Victorian kind of roll. So there's an element of a new romantic. We're making the imperfections in their hair even more beautiful and giving it that kind of outer worldly, kind of ethereal kind of feeling. It's got like life and lightness and it's going to move.
We're here at Preen, and the look is, think sort of like teenage kicks, a bit sort of 80s, inspired by new romantics. So in terms of makeup, she's got this beautiful natural skin, but she's been outside behind the bike shed having a good old snog with her boyfriend. I'm using like a matte lipstick to give this smoked impression. And then I'm taking MAC lip gloss and I'm just going to apply that over the lips, and that will bring back this sort of like sexy lip shape that's still gorgeously smudged. It's about being empowered enough to not care.
You know, I think that the great thing about the team here at Preen is that they're always in touch with the moment, and we're feeling this kind of like hint of punk that's in the air. And certainly in London, you have to have a little kind of punky moment to make it feel like it's really current. We saw that whole idea of kind of punk and strong protest on every runway in New York City. No matter your political view, it was clear that people had an opinion and they wanted it to be heard. And we're seeing early here in London the idea of this kind of late 1976 into the early 80s punk moment that's happening. And because this is the birthplace of it, but it's always super feminine.
Well, with the designers, I always speak with Justin and Thea, and they tell me the theme and the feeling of the show. Yeah, I always try to go with extra feeling, so it gives extra feeling or dimension to the clothes. So it's not exactly the same, but something extra, so you get like the whole package of awesomeness. Love it. I want everything. I want everything.
The idea of fluidity continues to be an important message on every runway here in London. You know, the skirts have movement. We're seeing the biker jacket coming back in a powerful way. So if you got rid of your biker jacket, not a good thing, because we still love a bomber, but it's kind of about a powerful biker jacket. Always on trend and always super charming. It's really a powerful show and a really great presentation.
Our girls are Scottish princesses, so they're in the Highlands, they're wild. It's a braid-inspired look. We want them to be powerful, so there's a lot of volume. It's got a statement, it's very strong, and it's got a feralness to it. We've created the look using Don't Blow It to create a texture, and then we're making them even more airy with the dry spun. We've pre-braided all of our hair, so it's easy to just get it in. And then we've gone around the girls' faces. We're looking at where it's most beautiful for them, for the facial braids. And then the structure is, we're trying to let it be a little bit organic.
Here at Berardi, it's all about a freckle flush. I'm using a cream colour base in mid-tone sepia first. So that gives me like outdoorsy, slight tan to the skin. I've got a great pen from MAC Cosmetics and it's called a Penultimate Brow Pencil. And what's nice about it is you can literally do the tiniest little freckle. Because the thing about a freckle is you want it to look like it's real, not like it's little brown dots all over your face. There's a brushed up boyish brow and beautiful skin and a natural lip.
It started with the Highlands and Macbeth and the idea of mountaineering. I wanted it to be a bit more outdoorsy, because I think people think I do nice dresses and whatever else, so it was that idea that we would do outerwear. She's more nomadic, I guess. She's tougher. But at the same time, I think there's definitely that romantic sensuality to her. So she's an outdoorsy girl, but she's kind of sexy at the same time.
Everyone knows that he can do amazing evening wear. It's something that he's always done, but I think people are less aware of how amazing a tailor he is and what brilliant outerwear exists in the collection. You have this definite day and evening as one in the collection. So there's a much more layered proposition from him than you would see, you know, generally. I mean, all the beautiful beading, all the beautiful drama still existing. There's not a compromise in that, but there's much more, you know, canvases for the day wear, quilting, velvets.
I go to Antonio Berardi because I love Sophia from 10 magazine who styles it. You know, he's a classic, and I love the big voluminous pants with the stiletto heel. I thought that was a fun, sexy look. This time, lots of volume, lots of covered up. There were lots of drawstrings. It was almost kind of futuristic, sporty in a little bit of a way.
What I tend to do is to do things where you don't really know where something begins and something ends. So you'll see things which look like two pieces which are one piece, or things that look like one piece but are two pieces, and that's the way it is. You don't actually know where the clothes begin and where they end. This is a 1 in 2. The jacket comes down, it forms part of the trouser, so it looks like you're wearing a trouser over your jacket. This is a 2-in-1. There's a lot of that goes on. Those are the things that I think are important to the collection, really. I think it's good that you experience something and then you see it in reality and it's not.
Well, I think Antonio has established himself really as one of the most serious red carpet dressers to watch. And he's just got away with a woman's body. It's always slinky, but never too much. And I just like the way that his sexiness is unexpected. There'll be a little, kind of cut or a slice somewhere or a dart or some embellishment that's really unexpected and unusual.
For me, it's always which is the new erogenous zone. And I love that idea that we have all those things like these jackets where you have this part that shows and you might have this part here that shows on something else. There's a primness to what I do, but there's a sexiness to it also. In a strange kind of way, I think sometimes modesty is the key to sensuality. It's not necessarily that things have to be obvious. Even in the big dresses, this dress here, this was all knitted and then embroidered, and it looks like you're wearing a sweater, but the idea is that at the back, you literally just see the shoulder blades because there's a part in the middle that comes up from the skirt, and it's that. It's just seeing enough.
Roksanda, yes. I think she's so talented and she has such a strong point of view. I think her color is so great. She was a big pioneer in the silhouette that we've seen everywhere, which is this very voluminous skirt and kind of an asymmetrical tiered thing with handkerchief things flopping on the sides. I feel like she's been doing that always. It just feels smart and intellectual, and it's kind of an interesting take on this post-Soviet look of Balenciaga and Vetements and a lot of Volkova, and it has something of that, but it's more of an intellectual as opposed to a street vibe. It's kind of the volume of everything, really. I really liked the blouses. There was a blue blouse that almost you could wear as a dress, that she had like a big skirt underneath. And also the accessories. The bags are very unique. The boots are very unique. I think that there are definitely strong pieces. It's that kind of intellectual, sexy because it's smart. So I'm a big fan of Roksanda.
It was great. I love Pringle. I'm a big supporter. I thought that the hair was great. I really like that kind of wet take on it. I thought it was great. I loved some of the blue colorways and the off the shoulder. And the way that they were tying the knits and styling was really nice.
Well, you know, they're the cashmere kings of Scotland, so definitely some fun knits. It's always an interesting well of inspiration to go to when there's a real heritage brand. It's over 100 years old, so they have a real history to delve into. And, you know, with luxury fabrics like that, it's always something fun and interesting. So I'm hoping for some bright color. They have a new creative director that started last season, so, you know, they just get somebody who understands what's going on in fashion now and what people want to wear, and at the same time appreciate the heritage and bring the two together. It's a challenge, certainly, but there are so many great heritage brands that need to be revived, so it's important to find somebody to do it.